Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Ready.
Can this defense get the stop on the opening drive? Here's 3rd and goal. Now Breeze. Oliver, the tight end, making the catch. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll bring up 4th down. Sanders' kick is good. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
On the ready. Mike, 54's Mike. Check. Hey, do. Watch the run. Get it.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Christian Wilkins able to get in there and drop him behind the line. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Let's get off the field, D. Right there, 54, right there. Ready?
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Look at me. Go. Hey, what's that? Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Here we go. Now.
McCaffrey. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
50, plant. Squeeze. I'm trying to collect.
On second down, McCaffrey. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey,
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Juan Thornhill. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Ball, mains. All I ever do is ball, main. I am not a rapper, they all lame. power up and level up at any moment. Spitting like a semi, only give me semicolon. Couple zeros like I'm sending yell nets. Every flow is unmatched, and I better get set in. Finish them. Mess around with me and I diminish them all. Even if I ever did the minimum, all. In the end result, I'm better killing them all. Rogue one, but I got a team with me. Batman when I got a team with me. I get mean, I get green. Show the whole game what's never been seen. Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, gold tanks. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more bars than a Shawshank. Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, gold tanks. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more bars than a Shawshank.
Designer sneakers hurt my feet now. Every beat is getting beat down. Couldn't eat, well watch I eat now. Like how you getting paid to freestyle? Now, with state prop, you looking bleak now. I was home to sleep, designing sheets now. 30 different missions, when I speak, they listen. Couldn't find the social fishing. Who the crew, it wasn't you. I know it's true, cause you look like the opposition. Run it up, greatest ever sums it up. I ain't have a lot when I was coming up. Kinda made my stomach turn when I brung it up. Wait.
Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, gold tanks. Anything I ever do is top rank.
First opened back in 1975. There's a look inside the iconic Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the New Orleans Saints. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27.
At their own 27-yard line.
Yeah. Up is magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror now, I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing. Now I hit the scene, daylight lights, camera action. Living in a dream, now my music, they be blasting. Step out, I'm a star, always in the latest fashion. Had to set the bar, try to catch me lacking. Bank account for my son, he won't have to struggle. You can see it in my eyes, all I do is hustle. They tried to knock me off my feet, I'm ready to rumble. Felt like I ain't ate in weeks, working off the muscle. Oh yeah, oh my.
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the New Orleans Saints. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Ready, yellow lady. Hey, Sammy. Here I come.
Darius Geis, his first carry of the game. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. He's at the 40, 20, 10, touchdown, New Orleans. Darius Geis, 78 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Here we go. 60 Pittsburgh. Watch the out. Big grip.
First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Here's 2nd and 8. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Josh Allen. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Look into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. We thought this defense would be opportunistic, and they were. Here, you're already up. Now you got a 2-touchdown lead. I tell you, going out there on defense, did they have a little bit of extra momentum with a score already on the board?
Oh, without a doubt. That already felt good to them, and they took it and used it and obviously put up another one. But here's the thing now. Some defense coordinators might want to pull their guys back a little bit because they don't want them to make mistakes because they're too overamped. Others say, I've got 2-touchdown lead. Go get them, guys. They'll be even more aggressive.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The tank, DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good. Oh, trying to get that to Adams, but that's intercepted. Picked up by Juan Thornhill. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The tackle there by Quandre Diggs. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Check. Kill.
They fake the give. Here's Breeze. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Nick Perry comes flying in for the sack.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. 3rd and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here. That is caught by Josh Oliver, the former San Jose State Spartan. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice and ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, I was watching him in warm-ups, and he hit a 62-yarder that hit the crossbar and went over. This one a little bit inside of that, but not enough leg.
And the difference is what?
Well, your live conditions, right?
Live conditions, game conditions are a whole lot different than practice, where you just pop it up there, no rush, no pressure. I think maybe that takes a couple yards away from you when you have to do it when it's real.
Here's McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Now a man open down the middle of the field and brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. I'm coming. Hey, Haywood. Mike 54. Mike 54.
They'll look to throw here on first down.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. The first red zone opportunity now for the Packers. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. McCaffrey on the counter. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
2nd and 9 now. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Jonathan Abram picks it. And nothing but daylight ahead. The 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And this, you'd hate to say that a drive in the first half must end in points, but you're down 21-0. They're going to have to get something going fairly quickly.
I would agree totally with that, because if you're going to mount the comeback, it's going to have to come in bits and pieces. It doesn't just all come at one time, right? We haven't seen anything more than a 6-point touchdown ever in this game, right? So that's how it has to be done. Get points on the board now. Start your comeback.
He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. The 30, 10, touchdown, Packers. Christian McCaffrey, 81 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Elliott good on the extra point, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Ready?
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack is a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They push forward, but I don't think it's enough. He's going to be about a yard short.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
This is McCaffrey. And an alley to run. And he'll be down deep into New Orleans territory. A big play there from McCaffrey. 64 yards. So he nearly took it. The distance gets him down inside the 10 for a first and goal.
I'd love to be in his head right now, because is he rewarding himself for a great run, or is he kicking himself because he didn't get all the way to the goal line?
Hey, let go. Ready?
They'll try to run with McCaffrey, and he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Christian McCaffrey with his second touchdown here in this first half, as his guys are back within a single score. Elliott Good with a PAT, and they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They've seen their 21-0 advantage cut to just 7, so time to go back to work here, first and 10. Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50, and able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one good for 37 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for first and 10. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up at halftime. We'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. From 10 yards out. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
That drive was quick and impressive. Almost like they had somewhere else they needed to be after the game.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead now up to 14. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match at a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
They'll give it up to McCaffrey. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a third and about 4 more for a first.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight, He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. An NFL update there in the second quarter in Baltimore. It's the Colts in that one that have grabbed the early lead. And we'll try and keep you updated on those events and others around the league as we continue through this one.
Opposite. Watch the twist. Watch the twist. Slam.
They start on the ground with Geis. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. To throw, it's Breeze. Able to find his running back, Geis. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Breeze going to come up here, 1st and 10, and he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. To throw is Breeze. He'll rifle this one deep right side, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Pick it up, guys. Pick it up. Check nickel.
Throwing now is Breeze. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I tell you, you can't fault the pass protection here. He had all day to throw, and he just couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. And quarterbacks will tell you that after a while, they start getting antsy back there. So this is just a great job defensively to stay with these receivers as long as they did.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. He's got a man, complete. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45.
Mike spot 4, Mike spot 4. Mike spot 4.
He'll look to throw. Then his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Carlton Davis picks it. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Well, they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On the ground, McCaffrey. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Allen able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
And the pressure gets to him again.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Again, they run. Again, it's Geis. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
You ready? 59's Mike. 59's Mike. Check. 59's ready.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Hey, one set. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. 5.
Looking to throw. And Tate's got it. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Mike 54. Not today, you are. Not today.
They'll set up to throw.
Here we go. All day, defense.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. They'll run with McCaffrey. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Again, McCaffrey. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's third down now. The crowd here in the Dome making things difficult. Third and goal. They'll drop the throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And the kick by Elliott is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. They had it first and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. The third quarter has not been kind to them after they built that lead at intermission. They've seen that lead shrink.
And
weaving through traffic, and now he's free. He's at the 30, 10, touchdown, New Orleans. Darius Geis, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
We got this.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. The Packers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
24 is the mic. I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school. 24 is the mic. Here we go, here we go. Hey, orbit. 24 is the mic. Ready?
They're going to look to throw. He completes it to Tate. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Well, that'll get him to first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They try to run on first down, but this defense says no dice. They stop him a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down. This quarterback now just 8 of 16 thus far, 50%, but it's 1st and 10.
24 is the mic.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. It's caught here by Adams. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. The Saints say they have it, and they do. Past the 20. And he's into the end zone. A fumble return and a Saint touchdown. And he has great speed, defensive back speed. Once he got it and took off, there was no catching him.
And I know every team tells you to hustle no matter what the play, but there was no chance of catching him. Maybe if it had been a defensive tackle running with the ball, but not in this case.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And they open the lead up now to 25. That's fielded in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. You got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
Now a run with McCaffrey. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Open man is born. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
He'll look to throw. He's got his man. This is Tate. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
And now here is another interception. Picked off near the 44. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away.
You're good, you're good. 5-4, ready.
They stay on the ground. Geis again. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
5-9. Mike's 59. Over. Here we go.
On the draw, they go to Geis. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
Come on, set. 90 Wolf. 54 Mike. Here we go, D. Mike's 5-4. Mike's 5-4. Mike's 5-4. Watch the run. Watch the run. Clear.
Hey, watch set. Watch set. Check.
I'll go.
54. Mike, 54. All day, baby. All day.
Ready, ready.
And they will take a knee here.
The quarterback keeps it. It's a loss of a yard. And it's 3rd down. Today's final score.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for New Orleans, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for the Packers, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers.